Hi, it's Lolli the Kitchen Witch, and I'm glad you're back with me. I'm going to make chicken paprikash for dinner tonight. So, I used to make this when my kids were little, and I used the whole chicken. Now it's just me and Pop, so I use a few pieces of chicken. And it's easier if I buy an already cut up chicken. Today, I'm going to use 4 chicken thighs with the skin on, but I have trimmed some of the skin off of it because if you buy a package of chicken thighs, there seems to be all this extra skin. So I've kind of trimmed off some of the skin. I salt and peppered it, and I'm browning it in butter. So depending on how much chicken you're using is going to determine what size pan you use. You can use a Dutch oven. You can use a bigger skillet if you want. But I'm just using a small skillet because I'm just cooking 4 pieces of chicken. Chicken thighs, bone in, skin on, but trimmed, salt and peppered. It's called chicken paprikash. That's because it has lots of paprika in it. So I'm going to add my paprika till it's covered. Each piece is covered with paprika. Yum. So good. I'm going to turn it down just a tiny bit. Okay. So I've covered my chicken with paprika. It's completely covered. I don't know if you can see, but it is. It's browning in the butter. I have cut up potatoes. I'm going to say 1 potato per person, unless you're dealing with small children, then maybe they'll need a half a potato. But I've cut up 2 potatoes, long ways, quartered them. I've cut up some carrot and peeled it, or you can use the small carrots that come in the bag at the grocery store. And I chopped up some onion. I have chicken broth, which I'm fixing to add to my skillet because my chicken's about brown now. And I'm going to pour this in so that it's about halfway up the chicken. Be careful. Don't burn yourself. Pour it off to the side. Okay. It's about halfway up the chicken. Then I'm going to add my veggies carefully to the pan around my chicken. I want it to be boiling, so I'm not going to turn it down yet. But once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. I'm going to add all my vegetables. And like I said, it has been seasoned with salt and pepper, but my vegetables haven't. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more to my veggies. A little salt and pepper. Now I'm going to let this cook until my chicken is cooked through, and that's probably going to take 45 minutes to an hour. So it's cooked through and starting to come away from the bone. That way I can eat it and it just comes off the bone. So we're going to go ahead and it's starting to boil already. So I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to turn it down to a low to a simmer, and we're going to let it cook for about 45 minutes. When it's done cooking, let me stop there. Occasionally go through, maybe turn your chicken over, stir your vegetables around, make sure, I'd say maybe every 15 minutes or so. That way everything gets cooked at the same time. I have a small bowl here that I put about a 1/4 cup of flour in. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of water to it. You may have to add more water to it, depending. But I'm going to make a paste. And this is what I'm going to use after my chicken is all done. After it's all done, I'm going to, it makes a nice paste. Perfect. Quarter cup of water, quarter cup of flour, and not a quarter cup liquid cup, because I want the same amount of liquid as I do of my flour. So I've made a paste, and I'm just going to set that off to the side. So really the only thing I need now for my dish is this and, about 2 giant heaping spoonfuls of sour cream. Now, depending on the amount of broth that you've put in there, what's going to determine how much chicken you have in there. It's going to determine how much paste you use and how much sour cream you use. When I had my whole family eating this and a whole chicken, I had enough broth in there where I used all this paste, because you're going to use the paste to thicken your broth. You're going to whisk it in slowly, and then once your broth starts to get thick, you're going to stop. And you're going to do that with a small flame underneath your pan. Then you're going to shut it off, and you're going to add your sour cream, which is going to make the gravy. And let me tell you, the gravy is yummy. Okay, so I have a nice smooth paste. See the consistency? It's not too thick, not too watery. It's just made a creamy paste. And we're going to set that off to the side. Don't forget, check your chicken, stir around your vegetables, flip your chicken over about every 15 minutes or so. It should be simmering with the lid on for about 45 minutes to an hour. It's going to depend on how much chicken you have in there, how many people you're feeding. So you kind of have to go off that variation. And I'll be back with you after.
Here's where we lost sound. So we're going to take the lid off. The chicken is done. We're going to turn down the heat, and we're going to remove the vegetables and the chicken to a platter or a plate. It's kind of like a pot roast, except with chicken. You've got your chicken pieces and your carrots and your onions and your vegetables. Now we've just got the juice from the butter, the paprika, the chicken broth, all the chicken and the vegetables in the pan. And it's red because of all the paprika that we added. This is where we're going to add our flour mixture to our broth to thicken it up. It's going to depend on how much broth you have in the pan, on how much flour mixture you add. So we're going to add the flour mixture slowly. Make sure the heat's on. You kind of want it at a low boil, and we're going to add the flour mixture slowly. We don't want too much because we don't want a big glob. We just want to thicken the broth. I'm going to add a little bit more. And get it just the consistency that we want. That's looking like it's probably about perfect. It's made a nice gravy. But now we're going to add the good stuff, and we're going to add sour cream. If you have a lot of gravy, you're going to add a lot of sour cream. If you just have a little, so I'm going to add about a cup. And we're going to mix that sour cream in until we have a nice, creamy, rich gravy for our chicken and vegetables. This is the best part, the gravy. It's full of flavor. Butter, paprika, the juices from the chicken and the vegetables, the salt, the pepper, the chicken broth. Oh, it's looking like it's done. Now we're going to get a plate and we're going to make ourselves a serving. Some chicken and some carrots and potatoes and onion. We're going to add our gravy. And we're going to sit down and enjoy our dinner. Thanks, y'all. Hope you enjoy it as much as my family does.